Woo! What's up, guys? All right, so today I wanted to create another video for you. This one's also going to be long form, but I wanted to give you the opportunity to learn about some of what I'm teaching in Memphis Entrepreneur Club. I'm going to go pretty in depth. This might be an hour long video, maybe more, probably less, depending on how much engagement we get. So as I'm doing the stream, feel free to post your comments, questions, or suggestions, or whatever it is you want to ask me in the comments below. And while I'm doing the stream, I'd be happy to answer any of your questions, so long as I am paying attention to my stream at the time that those questions are answered. But I will try to answer them in the stream. So what I'm going to show you today is what I do with Facebook, how I'm able to build a sustainable business and, sell or provide digital products through my Facebook page without paying for advertising. I do know there are a lot of people that have businesses or are starting a business and are interested in Facebook ads. So I'll also include in this video today some information about advertising as well. It looks like I already got a comment, so I'm going to check that out really quick. I will open up my phone so that I can see what you guys are saying in real time on the stream. Yo, Jay, what's going on, man? Thank you for joining the stream. So anybody that's watching, please do me a favor and share this out, or tag somebody in it that wants to see it, that you think will benefit from learning some Facebook marketing strategies and Facebook ads. So I'm not going to go extremely in depth. I'm just really going to touch on some important topics and make some suggestions as far as strategies or resources that I think that you should use if you're not already aware of them when it comes to networking, marketing, and advertising on Facebook. Facebook is a very, very important platform for businesses. Most people are only aware of Facebook as a social network, but that's just simply not the case. Facebook is more of a business and advertising platform and a search engine than it is a social network. Considering that most people aren't actually social or socially interactive with each other, right? So Facebook has this huge algorithm that definitely benefits businesses more than it does people, general people, consumers, people of the public, right? Which is why Facebook is very important, and if not the most important platform for businesses to be a part of. So what I'm going to start off first is talking about some networking strategies. If you're starting your own business, you've got a startup, if you have a business, you're looking to expand or grow, or you are an entrepreneur, a student, and you're looking to learn something specific as far as a skill set that you eventually plan to monetize, then here are a couple of tips that I have for you as far as networking. First, I think I'm going to start on my screen capture. So I'm going to go ahead and close up my live feed with what I would generally be watching to see your comments. So if you guys post a comment, I will not reply right away, but I'm just going to go ahead and bring up my Facebook page. All right, so a couple of things that I like to do when I'm on my phone on Facebook, and of course I recommend you kind of look into this both on your phone and on your desktop, because there are some different features. While the feature works exactly the same, there are a couple of differences when it comes to networking and adding people, and a lot of these features are going to be found in different places. So first, starting off on the phone. Now, one thing that I do when I add some of my friends is I make sure that I put them in a category, right? When you add people on Facebook, this is very important, especially with your phone as well. When you add new contact to your phone, inside of the company box right under your last name, there's first name, last name, company. In the company box, you always put the company they work for or their company that they own or whatever services it is that they provide, if you're aware of that, so that when someone asks you, hey, do you know a photographer, do you know someone that does X, Y, and Z, or do you know someone who works at so-and-so, you can go into your contacts, literally search that keyword that you put into that contact under their company name, and their contact information will come up. So let me go ahead and show you that example first. And I know that's not necessarily Facebook, but it's equally important. So if I go into my phone and I go over to contacts, you'll see my contact information. I have my photo. I've got my first and last name. Actually, I'll go over to edit, and I've added a few different slots. So right here you see consultant, entrepreneur, blah blah blah. I've got a couple of other slots like job title and nickname. I think I have as one, but under company, usually I put something like photographer, graphic designer, website developer, because you're going to network with a lot of people that are interested in doing the same things that you do. And then you're going to network with a lot of people that can benefit your business. So the people that are doing the same thing you do are not necessarily a benefit to your business. They could be considered competitors. So you'll definitely want to have all the contacts that you have, whether it's someone that's in your industry or who can benefit your industry. You want to have some keywords inside of the company section of their contact information, so that when you search for those people, you can find people that you want to network with and collaborate, or you can find people that you want to network with to expand your business as far as finding the right resources. All right, so for me, I like to put in here my iPhone number, my email addresses. I have a different email address, and you can change the what is this called? The label. You can change the label from iCloud to consulting or collaboration or branding or web development if you have multiple emails. Under my websites, I've got personal, website portfolio, business, Snapchat, Facebook Messenger, branding portfolio. I've got not my full home address, but city, state, zip code, United States, birth date. Of course, nobody remembers my birthday, and then they see it in their phone and like, oh, it's your birthday, cool, happy birthday. I've got my Twitter, my LinkedIn, my Skype, and then I've got some notes under the notes section of my contact information, so that when people search certain keywords, my name comes up. For instance, if you do a search on your Spotlight using the search feature in your iPhone home screen, then the contact that has those keywords in it will show up, and I'll show you an example in a second. So I can go over to my contacts, and let's say today I want to go outside and skateboard, but I want to see what my skateboarding friends are up to. An easy way for me to contact all my skateboarding friends is to type SKATE, and all of my skateboarding friends will show up in the contact. I can type photography, so photo. All of my photography friends will show up in the contact when I type photo. Web, right? All of my website developer friends will show up in my contacts. Or I can type, let's see, prospect, PROSPECT. These are all the people that I need to continuously follow up with, who I haven't gained their business yet. I need to follow up with over time. So I'll have prospect saved inside of their contact information under company, and I'll notice, as you can see here, I have a few names, and you can see website prospect, 901 customs prospect. They probably don't want a website, they might want a logo. Web design prospect, logo design prospect, website prospect, web design prospect. So that way, when I'm following up with these people, I usually forget their names or forget that I had a prospect in the first place. So if I don't save this information, I won't remember, man, whose phone number was this, or who was this person, or what was it that they wanted from me that I need to follow up with them about. And I can contact them and say, hey, I know that you're asking for a website. Is that something that you're still looking for? Or what's a good time for us to schedule a phone call? Or what's a good time for us to meet up and talk about your website, right? So this pretty much takes all the hard work out of my mind and allows me to, be reminded by my phone for what people were looking for, who they are, what their name is. So I save their contact. I go in here, I call them, I say, hey, Christian, I know that you were looking for so-and-so. I just wanted to follow up with you. Okay, so that's a great way to network with your iOS contacts. All right, so I've got, Memphis Entrepreneur Club members in here. So I say club, C-L-U-B, and I'll have, as you can see under each name, 3 Club, 3 Club. So these are my 3 Club members, some of which are Memphis Entrepreneur Club members as well. If I wanted to do music today, for example, I'll type music, SIC. So inside of their contact information, I'd put if they are associated with me through music, skateboarding, Three Comma Club, and photography, I'd put all of those inside of their company section of their contact information, separated by a dash or slash or forward slash, for example. All right, now back to Facebook. What I like to do is, here's my buddy Matthew Langford. He's into photography specifically for cars, right? So, but because he's a photographer, I'd like to have him in a photography list. All right, so Facebook has this way of automatically separating people by list based on what your job title is, or based on what school you go to, and if you have that listed into your profile. So, if I have 20 friends who go to Memphis, University of Memphis, and they have University of Memphis in their Facebook profile listed as the school that they attend, I can click on that link, and usually it'll tell me how many of my friends go to University of Memphis. All right, so that's a smart list. If I don't go to University of Memphis, then sometimes I might not see who my friends are in that list. If I list University of Memphis in my profile as the school that I attend, all of my friends will automatically be added to a smart list, because it's also associated with my education inside of my Facebook profile. I hope that makes sense. So, a better example, if I worked at Pizza Hut and I listed myself as a Pizza Hut employee in Facebook, Facebook will automatically add me and my friends to a smart list. Now, if I don't list myself as a Pizza Hut employee, then my friends who are listed as a Pizza Hut employee won't be added to a Pizza Hut smart list in my profile. That smart list will only show up in my profile if I am in that smart list. All right, so Pizza Hut is a Facebook page. Usually your local Pizza Hut has its own Facebook page. Either or, your friends who work, or your coworkers who work at that location, will list themselves as employees there, or manager, or whatever it is. And if they are your friends on Facebook as well as listed as a employer or employee of that location, along with you being an employee, then you will both be in that smart list. And because you are an employee and you have that listed in your profile, you'll have access to that smart list. So what I'll show you here on the desktop really quick is a desktop version of that smart list. If I go down to, or if I go over to home, you've got your friends, you've got your right hand column, you've got your news feed, and then you've got the left column of your personal profile settings, shortcuts, the exploration column, and the create column, where you can create an ad, a page, a group, event, or fundraiser. Under the explore column, you have, of course, your pages, but you have friend lists, right? I'm going to click on friend lists, and these are all of the lists that I've created manually, some of which are automatic. So I have a Facebook page, 901 Customs Web Development, blah, 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 right? I've created this Facebook page, and I've added myself as the founder of that business, which is connected to that Facebook page. If one of my friends or one of my employees adds themselves as an employee or graphic designer of that Facebook page through the business, then they will be automatically added to this smart list. All right. Other Facebook pages will be brown, and it will show a brown suitcase as the icon. We have location. So if you list yourself as residing in Collierville, Tennessee, residing in Boca Raton, Florida, residing in so-and-so, then the smart list is going to have a location marker as the icon. If you list yourself in some university or high school, you'll have a cap, a graduation cap as the icon for that school. And this is a smart list. You don't create this list. The school that created the Facebook page automatically had a list created for that school because they have a Facebook page and listed in that page that it was the page for a school. All right, so you have family and close friends, which are listed as stars, and those are smart lists that are automatically created by Facebook. Acquaintances, which is like an open body outline of a person, like a torso, that's a smart list created by Facebook. You have restricted, which is the round restricted sign with the white dash. That's a list automatically created by Facebook. And then you have the icons that show two people. Those are the lists that you create, all right, that you manually create. So as I was showing you here, my buddy Matthew Langford is a photographer. And if I tap on the friends icon where it shows a check mark, I have the option to edit friend lists at the bottom. So I'm going to tap that, and it's going to show all of my lists. So the first two that are by default available through Facebook are close friends and acquaintances. All right. The next ones that show up are the Facebook pages, 901 Customs, 901 Kings, Funkiski, and because I worked at Hollister Co. back in the day and I listed that in my profile, I have access to that smart list and I can add my friends to it. If I'm adding a friend who was a coworker at that place, I don't work there anymore, so this is past employment. McDonald's, I have worked at McDonald's. The Label Us is my own business, right? So my pages show up first. And these pages only show up if you list those pages as your employment or something inside of your profile. All right, so if I go to Corey Owens, you can see over here, founder at Memphis Entrepreneur Club, owner at the Label Us, owner at 901 Customs, studies music production, Bachelor of Science at Full Sail University, went to Cairo High School, lives in Boca Raton, Florida, from Destin, Florida, pronounced his name, blah, 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 followed by 473 people. So these links in my profile where I list where I'm from, where I live, where I went to school, my education, are all links to pages, and they automatically create smart lists. So here you've got pages, which are the suitcase, school, locations, home, which is listed by like family, and then my smart lists I created. All right, so these are all smart lists I created. At the very bottom, you have the restricted smart list. You cannot create new smart lists from your phone. You've got to do it from the desktop. So what you do is, let's say I want to add my buddy Matthew to the smart list of photographers. Well, first I'll have to go to his page on Facebook. Incredible photographer, by the way. I suggest you guys follow him if you have an exotic car. Or if you have a car that you want to get photography taken of. But I can either go to his profile, and there are a few ways that I can create the smart list for photography. What I can do is hover over the friends icon with the check mark and click on add another list. Before add another list, we have acquaintances and close friends, which are obviously default. We have suggest friends and unfriend. So I can click add another list, and it's going to show all of my smart lists that are automatically generated by what I put into my Facebook profile, which are represented by a lightning strike, and then all of the lists that I've created which aren't represented by any type of icon. All right, so lightning strike, no icon. You scroll to the very bottom and you click on new list. When you tap this, you type in what you want this list to be called, photographers, for example, and you hit enter. If you know a lot of people from Las Vegas, but you don't live in Las Vegas, you can put Las Vegas as a list and add your Las Vegas friends into that list. I'll show you why this is important shortly. All right, so you also have restricted by default. So once you create that list here, you can also hover over someone's name and then hover over friends and do the same thing here. So if you're on your timeline, which I'll go to my timeline, I can hover over my friends or different pages. So this is a page. It works a little bit differently. A page and a friend. So Cassidy, if I hover over here, I can add her to another list from here as well without actually going to their profile. So she's into things like fashion design. So since I'm on my desktop, I can create a new list here, new list, fashion design. All right, and then I can add all my fashion design friends to this list. Okay, so let me just show you a preview of what lists I have. When I'm on my phone, though, what I can do is tap on the friends icon. I actually do have to go to the profile from the phone, but you have to create the list from the desktop before it shows up in the phone. Friends, edit friends list. Now I have all the lists that I've created. Now, as you can see, I've already added him to photographers, which shows a blue check mark. I've already added him to success because, I feel like he's a very ambitious person and he has his own business. So I have a list dedicated to success. And I'll show you why I have that list as well in a second. So once I tap, whether or not I want to have him added to the success list, let's see if there are any other ones. Nope, that's cool. I tap done, and now he's on that smart list. So what I can do from my phone is I can tap this hamburger icon in the bottom right hand corner, and then I can go down to feeds. So it shows up a little bit different on the phone. Feeds right here at the top is what I want to tap on, and there are all of my lists. So I can go to photographers, for example. Do I know any photographers? Let's say I need a photographer for a project and I don't want to type in Facebook. Do you guys know any photographers? Obviously, I know photographers because I've added them and I've seen their posts. When I see someone who posts their photography, I will add them to the photography list if I haven't already. And I do this on a daily basis. If I see someone posting a portfolio or something and I didn't know that they did photography or graphic design, I'll be like, oh, they do graphic design? Let me add them to my graphic design list. So let me show you this again. If I go to the hamburger icon, right, I'm home right now. Okay, this is my home page. I'll go over to the hamburger icon, scroll down, I'll find feeds. All right, so let's see, feeds, and I'll go and find photographers. Let's see. Tap on photographers. Now I'm looking at a syndicated timeline that only shows what my photography friends have posted. All right, so this is a good way to keep up with all your photography friends. This is a good way to, in some cases you can post a status that only your photography friends can see. So I'll go up here and maybe I want to hire a photographer. Let's say I have 50 photographers in my Facebook friends list. I'll post a status, and let's say those 50 photographer friends are in my photography list. I'll change the privacy of this status from public to, I'll tap on more, see all, and I'll go down to, where is it? Photographers. I'll select photographers. I'll tap done. Now I'm posting a status only photographers can see that's in my photography list. So if I am looking to hire a photographer for a project, or if I'm looking to collaborate with a photographer or ask a specific question that I want my photography friends to answer, I'm going to post this status, only have that visible to my photographer friends, so long as I have enough. You don't want to have one friend in that list. You want to have enough people in that list. And Facebook is not going to syndicate this post to only be shown to whoever's active right now. So because I have 5,000 friends, Facebook likes to kind of hide my post or my status if not enough people engage on it immediately, right? Which means a lot of people won't see it in their timeline unless they engage with me frequently, right? So the only way that people are really going to see your post is if you get a lot of engagement immediately, if people look at your page or post or comment on your post frequently, or if you have a high social status. And I know that sounds really crazy, but the higher your social status is, the more likely people are to see your posts because of social interaction and engagement. So if someone who has 1 million friends, or not friends, 1 million followers on their profile is a friend of mine and they constantly engage on my posts, then I'm going to have a little bit of a higher status according to Facebook, because someone who has a lot of influence is engaging with my content, right? So status kind of it's a numbers game. That kind of is the deciding factor of how many people you're going to reach without paying to get your content in front of other people. But to prevent Facebook from hiding that post if it doesn't immediately get engagement from the people who you want to see it in the first place, we're going to tell Facebook, hey, don't show this to my entire friends list, only show this to my photographer friends. So if you only have 50 photography friends or 20 and you have 5,000 friends total, Facebook is not going to hide this from your 20 photographer friends. It might be the first thing that they see in their news feed when they log into Facebook, because you specifically asked Facebook to show this to them. All right, so Um, you know, the flip side of that is posting a status that your intent is to find people who want to get websites designed, or posting a status where your intent is to sell a product or service, right? So let's say you are a photographer and you're posting a promo saying, hey, I've got 10% off of all my photography services for the rest of the week. Now, if you're friends with other photographers, you may not want them to see that. What you have to do is change your privacy of your post, and we're going to do friends accept, right? We're going to tap on friends accept, and now we can go in here. Obviously, we have to wait for this to load. It usually takes a second when you do the friends accept option, because you're asking Facebook to hide this from your photographer friends, right? Let's say you do album artwork or graphic design, website development, and you're posting a promo, and you don't want them to see that you posted a promo. You want to go in here and hide this from, let's see. Oh, okay. This is actually hiding from individual people. So let's do more specific friends. Okay, friends accept. So you should be able to actually, let's see how to do this. It's an easier way to do it from the desktop, but I want to figure this out. See all. All right, so when I do like my testimonials, sometimes I feel weird about like my clients that I'm posting the testimonial about to see it. So when I do a testimonial, I'll have it to where it's not shown by the client or the business that I'm sharing the testimonial about, because they'll get like notified when I share. For instance, if I post a logo design and I tag the business in it, and I share that frequently, well, when I share that logo design again, because they're already tagged, they're going to get a notification that I shared that picture. So I'll hide it from them in the settings so they don't get notified over and over and over again when they've already seen it. Let's see. Search. Can we bring up the search? PHOT. All right, so what I had to do instead of going through individual people is type out the name of the list that I want to hide this post from, and it would be photographers. So I tap on photographers and I click done. Now we've got friends except photographers. Done. All right, so what's on your mind? Blah, blah, blah. I've got a great deal on photography this month. All right. Your photography competitors might see that and also post a cheaper deal, for example. Or you might be sharing some secrets that you don't want your photography friends to see, because they might go and post the same video or the same secrets to try to steal some of your audience, right? So you might do a live stream. And in that live stream, you might want to give away some photography secrets to photographers or to people who are not necessarily established photographers, and you want to hide that from your photographer friends so that they're not using your secrets you're giving away in their services, for example. So I can go to friends except photographers and I can do my live stream. Boom. This is going to be shown to friends except photographers, right? And here's my live stream. It's pretty cool. So that's something that I see a lot of producers and musicians making the mistake of doing, is adding a lot of other producer or musician friends. So if you produce music, and let me change this back to public. Another side note here is, if you do change your privacy settings, the next time you post a status, that privacy setting you used previously will still be intact. So you'll want to go back and change this to public. If you forget to do it, you will wonder why nobody's engaging on your posts. You have to manually go back and change it to public and tap done. All right, so that's how I look at my different news feeds. Because for instance, I might want to wake up one day and say, today I want to focus on getting a client. or trying to offer a deal to my prospects. So I can put people who have reached out to me or who I've reached out to into a web design prospect list that I've created, and then post an offer that's only shown to them, that says, hey, for today only, 10% off of web design services or whatever. Only my prospects will see it because I'll show this to them, and they're almost guaranteed to see it because Facebook is not going to hide it or filter it out of people's timeline, because you specifically chose to show this to that group of people. All right, so another way that I do this is with graphic design. I might post something that I only want my graphic design friends to see because I'm looking for advice. I might be hiring someone to do graphic design, and I specifically want to show this to that list of people. So let's see. Based on what my goal is for the day, I can get up to date and look at my timeline and see what certain friends are talking about. If today I want to get up and go and like I said, skateboard, I can go over to my feeds tab in my phone and find PQR skateboarders, and I'm going to see posts from all of my skateboarding friends, right? Whatever they're talking about, who knows? 9 times out of 10, it's going to be some random update, but a lot of times we see, if my skateboarding friends posted something today, those posts will be at the very top, and it'll only be my skateboarding friends posts, so I can know where they are, what they're doing, and then I can decide if I want to call them or say, hey, let's meet up, right? I can go over to this news feed and post a status that only my skateboarding friends can see, right? So that I can say, hey, let's go skate today. And I'm almost guaranteed to get engagement because I'm only showing this to my skateboarding friends, and Facebook won't filter it out of their timeline because they're the only people who are going to see it. Okay, so here are some of my lists. I have 3 Comma Project, 901 Customs Clients, 901 Customs Web Development and Graphic Design, which is my Facebook page, 901 Customs LLC or 901 King Productions LLC, Acquaintances, App Developers, Location Boca Raton, Florida, My Bros, people who I know that are connected to Bryson Tiller, people who I know that work at Buckle, Camp Looking Glass, which is a like a summer camp kind of. Not a summer camp. I think it happens like once every 2 weeks or something like that. So I have the campers who are in my friends list from that camp, and in one feed or in one smart list, and then I have the counselors who are my friends on Facebook in another smart list. So if I'm going to this camp and I wanted to connect specifically with counselors, then I'll post a status that only they can see, or I'll go to this list and look at the names of the people in that list so that I can know who to contact so I don't leave anyone out, right? I've got close friends, cooks, cosmetologists, people I know who are connected to the Damascus brand, people who DJ, people from Dubai, e-commerce experts, experienced pints, family, fashion design, founder. I think this one is listed as founders of businesses, like of big brands. So people that I know who have founded, well, I'm not going to mention the name of the brands, but big brands and big businesses who are my friends on Facebook. Fuel Run, Fuel Cell University School, Funkiski, which is a band, game design, and Funkiski is here because I am a admin of the Facebook page, right? And I've listed myself as creative director of that Facebook page. My game design friends, people I know who are connected to Gary Vaynerchuk. People in the Gold Rush Rally have their own lists. People who are connected to Grant Cardone, graphic designers, people who have worked at Hollister Co., people who work at or are contributors to Huffington Posts, people who are investors or investing into like stocks and bonds and stuff, and penny stocks, etc. It Knows, which is a movie. Lamborghini, so I have all my Lamborghini owner friends in a list. People I know who live in Las Vegas. The owner of Lord Timepieces and all the people connected to him. Lotus Supercars, McDonald's, because I used to work there. Memphis Business, right? Models, people I know who model or could potentially model. Music engineers, music producers, musicians, movement watches, Naveen Jain, New York, NVMH, October's very own, P. Morris, photographers, Playboy prospects. So for websites, if I ever need to follow up with someone to see if they still need a website or if they're ready to move forward, they're inside of this list because they're not my clients yet. Once they become my client, I will take them out of this list and put them into my clients list. That way, when I post a update that I want my clients to see, they will see my status, because Facebook can't filter it out of their timeline because it's only going to be shown to that small group of people. All right, PT Squared Clinic, Ralph Lauren, rappers. So yeah, this is literally the Ralph Lauren brand. I know people who work there or are associated with the corporate brand. My rapper friends, realtors, Secret Academy, skateboarders, Startco, Success. My Success feed is specifically for people who post motivational shit. Now, 9 times out of 10, most of my friends don't post anything motivational. They post some negativity. They post a lot of celebrity videos, a lot of fight videos, a lot of bullshit that I don't want to see, but I don't necessarily want to remove them from my friends list. Today, if I needed a little motivation, I can wake up out of bed and go to this success list and see posts from most of my friends who would generally post things that I would like to see, that are going to in some kind of way motivate me, right? So usually you'll have, like, earlier in the day you'll see a lot of success posts, and then throughout the day you'll see a lot of things that they share. But if I wake up in the morning, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to see some quotes and a lot of things that are related to success. But these people are huge on personal development, and I can syndicate my news feed to show the people on that list so that I can network and talk to someone who is going to push me or hold me accountable to something. Everybody that I know connected to Ty Lopez, Tess Holiday, the label Lust, Third Coast Detailing, Turner Broadcasting, videographers, and website developers. Those are all of my lists. So as I add new people, I make sure I add them to some type of list. If they don't have anything that I want to see on their profile, I'll either won't add them or I just won't add them to a list. All right, so one of the mistakes that I've seen some of my friends do is some of my producer friends, for example, who produce instrumentals for rappers, instead of adding rappers, instead of adding movie, people who do casting for movies, instead of adding people who own production companies for movies and TV shows, or people who work at Netflix, or people who film commercials that you see on TV, they will go and add other producers. Doesn't make any sense. If I'm a producer trying to build a business based off of my productions, why would I go and add 5,000 producers to my Facebook page and then post a status saying, buy beats, buy my beats, new instrumentals on sale? That doesn't make any sense, because my 5,000 friends who are producers are trying to sell beats too. So why the hell would they want to buy my beats? They're not musicians. So a lot of my producer friends go and add other producers all the time, and that's all they network with. Those are the only people they talk to. Those are the only people that are commenting on their posts, and they usually don't grow a big sustainable business. They don't get a lot of referrals. They don't get a lot of business because the only people seeing their posts are their competitors. Moment of silence for that. So if you are a rapper, a musician, don't go and adding other music. Of course you can add other musicians, but you'll want to keep in mind that musicians aren't going to help you get gigs. Musicians aren't going to help you get your music into movies, TV shows, commercials, movie titles, right? Movie intros, jingles, right? You want to add people who are in the qualified positions to be able to get you from where you are to where you want to be. And 9 times out of 10, those people will have little to no musical talent whatsoever. Those are just the people that are going to connect you to the right people, the record labels. So you want to network with people who are going to help you get from where you are to where you want to be based on their position in, whether it be a company they own, some corporate company they work for, So if you are a videographer and you like to film movies, you need to find people who work at or are associated with someone who works at Netflix, Lionsgate, right? All those different companies that you see at the beginning of movie titles before the opening credits, right? Those companies that usually either buy or contribute or invest into that movie. Okay, so for my musician friends or my producer friends, you need to add people who work at or are associated with people who work at Sony or Columbia Records, for example, or insert record company here that you want to, get some type of record deal from. Okay, so that's my networking from, Facebook on the phone. When with the computer, it's pretty much the same thing. You hover over someone's name and you add them to a list, and all of your lists will show up in the lightbox. You can go over to the left hand tab or left hand column and you can find friends lists. So it's called friends lists on here, and it's called feeds on Facebook. So I'll do that again. I'll find feeds, and where is it at? Boom. All right, so it's called feeds on Facebook. And then I can go and find, let's say I have website prospects, people who want a website but haven't purchased yet. And I can see what they're talking about, what they're posting, and whether or not they've mentioned anything else about wanting or needing a website. And I can go in here and post a status. And from here, it's going to automatically set this status to be posted only in this news feed to where my friends who are in this list will see them. Okay, so all these people in my prospects list will be able to see this post. Boom. So websites have price for the next 24 hours only. All right, and I want only my website prospects to see this because this is an offer specifically for them to try to get their business. Okay, let's see, that's an example. And this is free, right? You're not paying for this. Now, over on the right-hand column, because this is the desktop version, you can see who is on this list. So as I get clients, I take the people who convert to clients out of this list. Right, so I've got 22 people in this list. I can click on see all, and those people's faces, once it loads, are going to show up. And if sometimes Facebook will not show them all. Let's see, friends. Sometimes Facebook won't show them all in here, but they do show up here individually. So Facebook has not really updated that feature to where it's optimized, but I can scroll through and see who those people are and what they're posting, and send them a message or something, or I can click on their picture. Right? I'm gonna leave this page. All right, so there's that. Now that's a little bit of networking. If you have a service or product that you'd like to offer to people who aren't on your list, like a digital service, photography photography is not the best example because it has to be local if you're doing something like photography, obviously. But if you have a digital service that you offer, like logo design, and you're looking to get a client, you can do logo design from anywhere in the world, which means you can use Facebook to prospect for people who are looking for logo design in real time. So while I'm on my photography or my prospects list, I'm going to go back home actually. And when I go and click to post the status, by default this is set to public. All right, so when I was just on that page previously, this privacy was set to those users who I had on that list in that feed. Now this is public because I went back home. All right, so in Facebook, what I can do is I can use the Facebook search bar to search for people who are posting certain keywords inside of their status. So this is a status published by someone. It says, "Who is not gay on my timeline?" So if I go and search in Facebook, who is not gay on my timeline? I don't know why he asked that question, but his post is the first thing that comes up because it's from my friends, right? My friends show up first, and the keywords he used in that post are inside, are tracked by Facebook. So the things that you say are actually going to be tracked by Facebook, and it's going to be highlighted. If I scroll down, now I have featured posts, so blah 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 timeline. So the first word that was tagged in here is timeline, but in the name of the page you have the word gay, so that shows up. So this is a search engine. You're searching for keywords in page names, but also in the page content, in the copy of the individual statuses and status updates, right? If I scroll down, all these sexy ladies on my timeline, how can men be gay? I don't know this person. These are the public posts. So 19 hours ago, this is going to show you what's the most recent post from people 19 hours ago. So let me give you a better example for something that's not as offensive as this one. I'm going to search anyone know logo designer. All right, so based on the things that you type, because I use the word anyone, the word no, the word no logo, and the word designer, those are 4 words that Facebook is going to try to find, which will be included in the post, which means Facebook will filter out some posts that only have 3 of those words. Okay, so if I search anyone know logo, I'm going to get a whole different set of results, right? So you want to kind of change your search queue and try to use different keywords, try to alternate the keywords, try to use abbreviations, try to use what you think people are going to post in their statuses who are looking for the service that you're looking to provide. By default, Facebook is going to show us the first tab, which is top. You've got posts, people, photos, videos, pages, places, groups, apps, events. I'm going to go through all of these. So the first thing you see from Facebook are photos where someone has mentioned logo, and you'll usually see photos that you've interacted with or posted first, especially if you said something about logo designer inside of those photos or in the description of those photos. And then you'll have posts from friends that you either engaged in or that people have created or that people have posted. And inside of the post from friends, her post is from 2016. It says, does anyone know of someone who designs logos for small businesses? I know I can go on Etsy, but I'm looking for personal referrals. Please let me know. Thanks. So inside of this post, it says, anyone know? All right, those are the first 2 words I searched. Designs logos, so logo designer, and it shows designs instead of designer, but it's still highlighted. And then she said no 2 more times, which kind of fed into the word that I searched, no, and 6 comments. So I'm pretty sure I posted my portfolio here, and I got her business. I didn't know this person. When I commented on this in 2016, me and her weren't friends. It was just a public post, and I'll show you how to find those public posts from people who aren't your friends. But because I engaged on this status, and it was a public status that could be commented on by people who weren't her friends, now that we are friends and I do have engagement on this status and it has those keywords in it, it's going to show up first. All right, April 4th, Ohio. And again, this is a friend of mine. Do I know anyone that can design logos, right? And this is something I've liked and I've commented on. Derek Hubbard, looking for January 3rd, 2016. Looking for freelance graphic designer for a logo. Need someone creative, blah, blah, blah. We have the words designer, logo, anyone know. And if I open up the comments, let's see. I don't think I posted anything in here. So because in this first one that shows up, I've actually engaged on this status, it shows up first. And then because I didn't, and I liked this status, so it shows up second. And I did not engage or like this status, and it shows up third. So it'll show you based on what you've engaged on, and it'll show that first. Now, these are people who I've already commented on, so they can't be business. I can't get business from them, and these are from 2016. So let's try to find something from from 2017 if we can from today or from this week. What I'll do is, of course, you can go through and look at posts. So again, this is just going to show posts from friends and then public posts. So that's one way to see some recent posts. This is from May 8th. Anyone know a good logo designer? Looking for recommendations. Today is May 28th. So this is 20 days ago. I want the most recent. This was from May 15th. Know anyone know a good logo designer? This one's from May 24th. Anyone know a local logo designer for branding? And this is public. This is from Norwich, United Kingdom. Nobody I've ever met, right? I don't know this person, but it's not public to where I can comment on it. I only have the option to like it or share it. I can't send them my portfolio. So a couple things you want to look for are public Facebook posts from people who aren't your friends, right? So it's going to show public posts and posts that you can comment on. But we're going to hack Facebook a little bit. Inside of the address bar, you by default are taken to top, and if I click on the tab posts, you're taken to the posts. If I click on people, it's going to change this link right here to people. If I click on photos, it's going to change this to photos. Videos, the same thing. Top, the same thing. But there's one option missing because Facebook deleted it or hid it. This is where the money comes in. So I'm going to change this from top to latest. Latest. And I'm going to hit enter. Now Facebook is going to show me posts from all over the world that happen in real time based on my keyword. So if I change my keyword up a bit, I might see a post from someone from across the world who posted this literally 2 seconds before my search, right? But this one's from 2 hours ago. The most recent that has the keywords anyone know, designer, logo, right? It's a public status. This guy lives in Atlanta, Georgia. We're not friends. All right. I usually don't add them as friends if I have the option to comment on it. So what I'll do is comment. I'll like it first so that it can be added to my top section so that when I go and search for this again, I can see who I've engaged on, whether or not they're my friend. It's going to show them because I've engaged, but I like it first, or I love it, or whatever, react to it, and then I go and comment. Right, I'll just go and do, and I'll comment and I'll post a link to my portfolio. Some people look for recommendations, so you might want to tag a page because that's what Facebook wants you to do in a recommendation, is recommend a page. So if I just go and add and tag my page at 901 Customs and I hit enter, it's actually going to link my page in the recommendation. All right, so what you don't want to do though when you're commenting on people's statuses or posts is copy and paste the same post, the same comment in each one, because Facebook is going to see that as spam and they're going to disable your ability to comment on public posts of people who aren't your friends. It's going to say like you're abusing Facebook's policies. So you want to type up something different for every person. Anyone know a good logo designer and or website designer? Please let me know. 12 hours ago from United Kingdom. I have 2 clients in the United Kingdom now, 3 actually, and I got them from doing this strategy, one of which recommended me to another person who lives in Australia. So I've got 3 UK clients, a Hong Kong client, a Las Vegas client, and several Australian clients, people who I've never met face to face, but I tag them and I say, hey, I do this, but here's my portfolio. So the only issue you might run into is if they have a lot of people commenting on that status, you'd have to have something that you can present them as a portfolio if you want to get the business over those other commenters. If they have no engagement on that status, you can say, hey, send me a direct message. I do this, and because you're the first or one of few people to comment, you have a more likely chance of landing their business if you can convince them to do business with you. 9 times out of 10, the people who look at my portfolio though are using to do business with me. So I react to the post and I say, here's my portfolio. All the sites are on WordPress with SEO and e-commerce. So I say something in here to kind of convince them to do business with me, right? And then I do my portfolio, www.thelabellust.com. labelist.com. So here I typed, here's my portfolio, all the sites on WordPress with SEO and e-commerce, the labelist.com. And here I just typed the labelist.com. So if I copy and paste the same comment and reply to these people's posts, Facebook will limit my ability to comment over the next few posts, which means I won't be able to engage on those statuses. So I type something different every time. So I also, if they're looking for recommendations, you'll see a map and they'll say looking for recommendations in, so if they are looking for recommendations and you're providing a digital service that you can provide to them remotely, I'll say, hey, I have clients in that location. Obviously, don't lie if you don't have clients in that location. Say, I'd love to have a client over there. Will you be willing to work with me? If I cut your deal or something, I don't know. But, I'd say, also, here's my page. I do have clients in UK, but I'm located in US now. I'll say US now, and they might think that I used to be in Australia or something, right? Or United Kingdom. Add 901 customs, and since it's a recommendation, I want to also tag my page, but I want them to see my portfolio first. All right, so they ask for logo and website design, right? And this is free. I'm not paying for this. Okay, so now you can see that none of the tabs up here are highlighted because I had oh, there's a good friend of mine. Now you can see that none of these options, these tabs are highlighted because we basically hacked Facebook to say we want to see the latest. We don't want to see top posts, people, photos, or whatever. I thought we were friends. I don't know, maybe there's somebody else. So this is a good opportunity for you to find people who are legitimately looking for your services. And in a sense, that's not soliciting. That's replying to a concrete request to provide something that they're going to pay for, right? They're looking to spend their money, and you're going to put yourself in front of them, right? So this is a great opportunity for you to kind of reach out to people. Obviously, if you have a portfolio, you have a better chance of landing a client if they get emotionally attached to something they see in your portfolio. So definitely, while you're providing whatever services to your clients, build up a portfolio, get a website. Okay, having a website is like the new business card today. All right, so when you change your search input, so anyone know logo designer, you might also want to open a new tab and search someone know logo designer. And then again, you change this text from top to latest, and you might want to open another tab and type looking for logo designer, right? Or you might want to search looking for logo designs or looking for designer, or you can eliminate text or eliminate words or add words, but based on you might have looking for logo designer and looking for logo as two different searches, and they might return two totally different lists of people who are searching for that in real time. Change this to latest, and let's see, this one is looking for logo designer. I'm going to open up a new tab and say looking for logo instead of looking for designer to see if it looks different. Looking for logo, I'm going to change this from top to latest because we want people who we aren't friends with. Alright, so here you see two different posts. One I did looking for logo designer, one I did looking for logo. Now you have a lot of different things that probably have nothing to do with your service, but here we go. 19 minutes ago, I've got a project coming up for the next 4 to 5 months. I'll need a reputable and affordable freelance graphic designers who will do logos, posters, and business cards. Please comment, inbox me. Thanks. This guy posted to a school group. It's a public post because the group is public and his profile is public, and this guy has 5,000 friends, so I can't add him. He lives in, I have no idea where, but it's public. I don't know this guy, never seen him before. This is my first time coming across him. In this tab, he was the first one to come up. So here I had to scroll down a bit, and I just noticed that he posted this in a school, on a school page, not in a group. On this tab, his name is first, but he put publish this to the South African Graphic Designers public group. All right, so it showed up first. But this is a private group, so I can't comment. I can just like it or share it. I can't comment on this because the group is private. But since I did 2 individual searches, now I have an opportunity to get him as a client because I found something where he had only looking for logo, right? Looking for recommendations, which is tagged by Facebook actually. He just put logo in his status, but because he set his profile or his post with the looking for recommendations filter, I don't know if you understand what I'm talking about. If I go here, I can say what's on my mind, and then I can add like how I'm feeling. So I can go in here and change this to like looking for or remembering or meeting. All right, there it is, looking for and recommendations, right? So because he put that inside of this specific comment on this Facebook page of this school, the looking for was tagged by Facebook because I searched looking for inside of my search, right? And then I added logo as a keyword, and he had logos, plural, inside of the status. So I hope that all makes sense. Now, 21 minutes ago, 29 minutes ago, 31 minutes ago, 32 minutes ago, 36 minutes ago. On this one, we have 18 minutes ago, 21 minutes ago, 25 minutes ago, 31 minutes ago. All right. So sometimes you won't find people who are posting this stuff in real time. But again, if it's public, you can comment on it. Right. It's Facebook. It's not like you're breaking in somebody's house to get access to their status. Right. So because it's public, they're going to be like, wait, how'd you find me? You're going to be like, it's Facebook, dog. You know, we're magicians. I found you because of the law of attraction, because you was looking for me, right? And I got that work you need. But no, legitimately, this is an incredible way to get business in the last 12 to 24 months. But in the last 12 months, really, I've built my portfolio out to be pretty substantial. And all of my clients that were big paying clients that I was able to do work for are clients who have paid because I've commented on their status and found them on Facebook. So I have clients now all over the world because of this strategy. Why am I giving it away? Because only 2% of people who watch this are really going to do it every day. I know that much. And also, for those of you who are legitimately trying to build a business, I don't like to limit people. I want you to have these resources, and this is a good way for me to build some credibility and authority so that when you need resources in the future, you know exactly who to come to. Right, so this is only like sticking your feet in. This is one ingredient of the cake. The cake there are so many more ingredients to this marketing stuff, and this is just one ingredient. This is probably one of the most important and probably one of the tastiest ingredients. But when making a cake, all the ingredients matter, right? So even though this is most important and the tastiest, you've got to have all the rest of the ingredients to really build a cake out, to really build your business out. So I wanted to give you the juiciest ingredients possible to help you kind of start doing some marketing if you don't have the big budget. Now, if you do have a budget, of course, you can just post a status and run a Facebook ad from your Facebook page. But my recommendation is to only run Facebook ads if you have $500 or more per month to run and split test those ads, at least 3 ads a day, right? And with that being said, you don't want to run a single ad for more than 5 days without split testing it or changing it to optimize it. So if you're running 3 ads a day for 5 days, and then every 5 days you're split testing those ads or changing those ads, you're going to at minimum spend $500 because 3 times 5 is 15. All right, times 5 days, that money starts to add up. And then once you do that every 5 days with three more ads, you're going to spend at least $490 something, right? Unless you get really good engagement and really good reach, you'll probably spend way less because you'll get more reach for less cost, and the ads will run longer. But 9 times out of 10, your ads aren't optimized enough for you to get more reach and less cost, which is why I recommend you start with $500 a month budget. I know a lot of people can't do that right now. So this is the free way to advertise and market yourself and get yourself out there in front of people who are looking for your services. Why is Facebook the best place to do some networking and reach out to people using this search tactic? Because if I type this into Google, I'm going to copy this and I'm going to go to Google. If I type this into Google, what's going to show up is looking for logo designers, top designers just for you. Of course, we've got advertisements of people who are selling us services, right? We do logo design, so why would I want to go click on this link, right? The first thing that comes up is an ad for logo designers. The second thing that comes up is an ad for logo designers. I'm a logo designer trying to use Facebook to get more business, not to network with other logo designers or buy a logo. All right, I'm trying to design a logo. So these are links to businesses who are trying to sell me freelancing or logo design. And then the first organic one, which is not an advertisement, again, is Upwork.com, a place where I can hire someone to design a logo. I'm trying to sell my services as a logo designer and make money. Freelance logo design and branding, online jobs, Upwork, logo design jobs, contests and work, design crowd jobs. I don't want a job, right? I'm trying to build my own business. So these links aren't good for me. Freelance logo design, website design, and graphic design, blah, 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 logo design jobs, 60-year-old company looking for logo rebrand, designcontest.com. So, this might be a great opportunity for you right here to go to this and try to provide your service. But again, you're competing with other people using this website, designcontest.com, and your chances are more slim, so I'm not interested in that either. I want some legitimate people who are looking for my services, who I can potentially land as a client. Logo design services, blah, blah, blah. Google. This is why Google sucks compared to Facebook for business purposes. Because when you search these keywords in Google, the only thing that you see is people trying to sell you shit, right? We're not trying to buy stuff. We're trying to make money. So Google does not work for us. So this is why it's even better to advertise on Facebook as a business as opposed to advertising on Google, because it's going to cost less and there are more people on Facebook active all day, every day, 24 hours a fucking day. Excuse my French. That's the best platform to be on because all of your clients are there. Your entire audience is there. And your money that you're going to make is probably going to come from there at some point. All right, so Google, looking for logo designer. Facebook, looking for logo designer. Guess what comes up? People, conversations, real conversations, statuses by people that you can engage on. I can't do that on Google. I can't find those people on Google. If I were to go through 100 pages of Google, I wouldn't find a person who posted this 32 minutes ago or 2 minutes ago. So that's why advertising on Facebook is way better than advertising on Google. So if you are to advertise on Facebook, $500 ad spend minimum is what I would recommend, only because if you're not split testing, you're not really going to get the ROI that you want to have if you don't go all in, and you're not going to be able to optimize that ad and find the target audience that will respond to that ad because you're not spending enough money or letting the ads run long enough for you to figure out who your audience actually is and who you should be targeting. So with $500 a month for 6 months or 1 year, all that time that goes by in that year, 365 days of advertising, spending $15 a day, that's a ton of money. But you know what you just paid for in that year? You just paid Facebook to figure out who your audience is. Now in the next year, you know who's going to respond to your ad, what their demographics are, exactly who's commenting on your post, who to target, because you optimized those ads for the first 6 months or year. Now you know 16 to 34-year-old women who have a average household income of $88,000 a year with 1 or more kids, with the purchasing behavior of buying children's toys, children's food, children's whatever, is the person who is going to click on your ad for the Hyundai or Toyota SUV that has a high safety rating and enough room for your growing family and the little budget that they have with the job that they have, making $88,000 a year, to be able to afford that Toyota hatchback. Okay, so Facebook ads is a great way to kind of build your audience and figure out who your audience is in the process, if you are spending enough money to continuously run ads and optimize and split test those ads. If you're not spending $200 a month, or if you're not spending over $200 a month on ads, chances are you're not split testing or optimizing them enough to understand what's going on, and you're wasting your money because you're starting a cycle over and over and over and over and over again, and targeting the same people who don't care about your product. You might get a couple of likes, comments, or whatever, but those people aren't necessarily qualified to spend their money on you, right? Which is why I recommend not running ads if you're not going to spend $500 a month. All right, so actually, let me go ahead and see if we have any comments on here. This guy was commenting on my stuff before, and I guess we weren't friends, but I'm going to add him now. As I just added him, so remember, I do this with every person. We're going to add him to, where is it, graphic designers. Boom, done. All right, so graphic designers, and let's see. Now what I wanted to do was open up my profile to make sure that I'm checking out all your comments. Hey, how come I'm not on your personal development list? Hi, Diana. Do I have a personal development list? Let me see. Oh, my success list. I think you might be. So let me go and check. Well, I don't want to block you. And I think I had you on like my clients list before. So let me exit out of this. My phone is being kind of funny. So what do I have? I actually don't have her on any list. That was a while ago. Okay, so that's something that needs to change. So definitely my success for sure. What else should I add you to? E-commerce. I like to put you on the e-commerce list. So that's what I do. I go through and I add people to specific lists. Now, the last thing that I like to do is, when I have these tabs open where I search for a particular keyword for a service that I'm offering, using logo design as an example, I will open up multiple tabs. I'll open up like maybe 15 or 20 tabs, and with alternating searches for specifically for logo design. And inside of that, what I would do is I'll create a folder inside of my let's see if I can remove this, inside of my bookmarks manager, and in that folder is where I will save or bookmark that search in Facebook. So an example would be, let me actually bring this full screen. I'm gonna open up a new tab, a new window. All right, so one of the things that I search every day, or that I look through every day, one of the search terms is for website design. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 searches for website design, and they're saved in this folder in my bookmarks bar. Of course, I keep everything as organized as possible. So I've got like social profiles that I use every day, my websites, clients' websites, web development, easy access to the websites that I go to when I'm building a website for a client, such as one-in-one, download WordPress, and the secret key for WordPress. My profiles for business, templates, websites that I need to design, temporary bookmarks of something I want to read and that I'll probably delete later, current projects I'm working on for clients, and my Memphis marketing agency links, okay, design resources, stock photography, video, stock audio, WordPress themes, graphic design, templates, fonts, typefaces, blah, blah, blah. You get where I'm going. Purchases, so things that I plan on buying, things that I have bought, or the things that I plan on buying and whether or not I've purchased those, and some searches on Facebook. So in this, I might create a subfolder, which I can do by going here. So I've searched looking for logo. I can bookmark this page. I can click on edit, and I can save this inside of my bookmarks bar, inside of the Know Anyone folder, right? And I can create a new subfolder in that folder for logos. And then I'm going to change the name of this bookmark to whatever my search was. So in this case, it's looking for logo. I'll keep that as looking for logo and save. So now if I get up every day and I want to look for a new logo designer, see if someone's searching for a logo designer, I can go into my bookmarks bar, logos, looking for logo, right? And 3 minutes ago, blah, 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 looking for the companies with our logo, please spread the word. 5 minutes ago, looking for that super large suitcase with blah, blah, blah. So sometimes you see something from 1 or 2 minutes ago or from today where someone's looking for logos. 16 minutes ago, I didn't see this 16 minutes ago because obviously this is real time. This person is in Denver, Colorado. Does anyone know someone who makes logos? Tag them ASAP, 3 comments of his friends probably, but I can go and share my portfolio. Now I can save inside of this logo subfolder all of the searches for logo design because they're all different, right? And then website design and blah, blah, blah. This is also a good opportunity for you to network with people and give them value. Even if they're not looking for logo design, maybe there are designers that are looking for logo resources. You give them your resources. They're going to see you as an authority and either add you or follow you, or maybe they will eventually opt into your logo design course that you set up because you're just that awesome, right? And they're going to be like, okay, what other resources do you have? And you say, hey, I got a course that I recorded on my website or on YouTube or in Lynda or in Udemy or whatever. Maybe you should sign up for it. It's $25. Or I got an ebook that's going to be perfect for you, right? And other logo designers who are learning logo design can opt into your courses, and that's another way to make money. So this is a good way to build up an audience of people who will see you as an authority. All right, so I'm not going to touch too heavily into advertising. Just keep in mind that $500 is usually the money that you want to spend every month if you are seriously trying to grow a business. If you don't have that kind of money, then put in the time to do it like this. Put in the time to do it for free until you get that kind of money. Because advertising, and by putting in the time to get that kind of money to spend $500 a month, you're going to build the experience, and you're going to build the foundation, you're going to build the audience that you use to then be able to afford $500 a month. If you can't afford it now, chances are your services are either not as good as you think they are or want them to be, or your prices are too low, right? Or your marketing is not as good as it should be. But so when you start running Facebook ads, you're only going to amplify how bad you are at marketing or providing that service. You don't want to amplify something that is not as improved as it could be, right? So $500 is the minimum. I say build your business until you can afford $500 a month. Look for recommendations. Seriously put in the time and ask around. Comment, build engagement, post statuses, talk about your services that you offer. Stop posting pictures of Beyonce on your Facebook page and start posting things about logos, because when people see that every day, they're going to have somebody say, hey, you know, a logo designer, even though those people who see your post every day have never bought a logo from you or never considered it or probably never will, they will probably recommend you because that's all they see from you all the time. Oh yeah, Corey and his annoying ass. I see all his posts about logos and websites and shit. He's the only one that I know that really does that all the time. Let me go ahead and tag him, right? So talk about logo design all day, every day if that's what you do. Okay, not all day. Don't be annoying, but make that your main focus of your profile because that's part of marketing. When people search for you, they'll be likely to find you because that's all you talk about, or that's the majority of what you talk about, instead of Beyonce and the trending celebrity and fidget spinners. Okay, so I've built up a lot of authority because that's all I publish on my profile. Is a lot of things about logo design, website development, SEO, consulting, building businesses. I've become the authority in all of those spaces over 5 or 10 years. So now Facebook has the option for you to not have to work as hard as I did to build my clients, and now I'm giving you that opportunity to do this. Why would I give away my secrets? Because there are 3 different tiers of every service and every client who pays for a service. There's the first level tier where you have people who are looking for the absolute cheapest version of that service, and then you have the first level of people who offer that service who don't have the best quality or don't have the highest self-worth. And then you have the mid-level tier of clients who are looking to not only spend their money on a logo, they don't want to spend an excessive amount of money, but they find value in that logo because they know it's a necessity. So the first tier is the people who will pay for a logo because they feel like it's a liability. It's like shit, I don't want a logo, but I need one because I'm starting a business. Let me get the cheapest thing possible so I can get this out of the way. The second tier of customers are people who are going to see that as a necessity. Like, I'm starting a business and I know that I need a logo. I know logos are an important part of having a business. Let me go ahead and pay for a good quality logo. And because they see it as a necessity, they see other things as a necessity, like a business card and a Facebook page. So chances are you can make more money, a little more money out of them by providing logo design with business card design, Facebook page setup, and website design all in one package because they see all of those things as a necessity. All right, and they're willing to spend $500 as opposed to $25 on a logo. Then you have that top tier of clients of people who will spend $5,000 on the logo alone and $25,000 or $20,000 on the website because they don't see that as a liability or a necessity. They see that as an asset, and they see the opportunity of making several millions of dollars over a period of time for that $5,000 investment. So having it done correctly, properly, efficiently, and having a bespoke, tailored version of that service specifically for the goals they want to achieve in that business is more important to them. So they are willing to invest $5,000 for the exact same services as the level 2 tier client, right? Because they see it as an asset. Right, so as a level 1 tier provider, you're just trying to get food on the table and you're trying to get by, but you don't have the highest quality service. It's new to you. You don't know how much it's worth. You don't know how much you're worth, and you don't have the skill or experience to be able to provide a tier 2 or tier 3 service. As a tier 2 provider, you have enough of a skill to be confident in providing your service, and you know how to provide other services that are directly related to that service to benefit your customer, right? And you kind of have an idea of how to market it, or you have a portfolio. Maybe you're not the best at reaching out to people and you still don't truly know your worth, but you can sell your services for more because you have it in a package with other services, and it's probably your full-time thing. Right, it's not just something you do for fun or on the side, right? That's your second tier, and I'd like to help you guys go from tier 1 to tier 2, or tier 0 to tier 2 this year if possible, so that you can make $500 on a logo design, or $2,000 or $3,000 from a website, because there are over 500,000 new businesses started every month, and even more of those businesses that exist already are closing because they don't have good marketing, they don't have marketing at all, or they don't know that they need good marketing, and that's where you come in, right? So With tier 1 and tier 2, you have 500,000 new opportunities every day to get a new logo designer, because as you saw here on Facebook, someone everywhere every day is looking for a new logo or a website or something, because they're starting a business, part of a business, updating a business, thinking about starting a business, working from home, something. Everybody's doing it. Every day a new kid is born, and they're eventually going to become your client if you build a big enough business when they're old enough, which could be 8 years old, because 8-year-olds are becoming more tech savvy than we are, and growing up in this age where they have the opportunity to make money from things like YouTube, Vine, Instagram, and Snapchat, right? So your opportunities are never ending. So while there's a lot of saturation in this business, there's a lot of room for you to succeed. And I'm building a platform that you guys can go and leverage, whether it be through Facebook or through your own website, to make money doing things like logo design. So I want you guys to go from where you are to at least a top tier 2 provider and provide these services for $2,000 to $5,000 via, Facebook for free, because you don't have the money to advertise on Facebook or Google, and you don't have the audience or experience to do it right and to do it efficiently. So your only option is to advertise for free by using this strategy, or this is the new door-to-door face-to-face kind of thing, but you're going to people's doors and knocking on their doors because they have signs on their windows that say, hey, we're looking for somebody to come and knock on our door and sell us this service, right? They're not just people that you go and prospect out of the blue. They're waiting for you to come and knock on their door. So this is the modern day door to door, where you are actually going to people who want your services and you're not soliciting. So you're more likely to get their service because they're looking for it, right? As a top 3 tier, as a third tier provider, you can provide a lot of the same service as a second tier provider, but now you have more experience with the psychological aspect of logo, web design, marketing, and branding. You have more services under your umbrella that you can offer to them. Most big business owners who have an excess of $20,000 and $100,000 to pay for websites, logos, and digital branding are not do-it-yourself kind of business owners. They are the kind of business owners who make sure they hire the right person for the job, and they are willing to spend the money because it's a asset to them, right? So those top tier 3 providers are the ones that have more experience, more services under their entire umbrella, and that's currently where I'm transitioning to from tier 2 to tier 3 in getting $3, $5, $10,000 projects from a single client, right? So while it's a little bit different of a approach to those kinds of clients than it is to go on a Facebook and search in this search bar to find clients who can pay $2,000 or $3,000. A lot of my newer clients who are showing up are through word of mouth and through my network I've built on Facebook by networking with the right people, using some of those tactics I showed you earlier, who can get my business from where it is to where I want it to be, because I'm not just networking with logo designers and web developers. That'd be pointless. I'm networking with business owners, and I've spent a year doing this, and brand owners, and they have used me for their services. They have the money to pay. They know that it's an asset. They spent the money on me. They got a good deal because I was marketing my services to them at a tier 2 rate. And because they got such a good deal, they recommended me to their other business owner friends. And in my portfolio, I didn't list any prices of what my previous projects cost the clients. So they fell in love with my products before they fell in love, or before they knew what the prices were. But because they have such a big budget, they're willing to pay whatever I asked them for, because one, they were recommended to me by someone that they trust, who has a lot of influence. 2, they saw my portfolio and my body of work from the tier 2 services that I provided, and they felt that it had a tier 3 price tag because they had an emotional attachment to my skill set and to what I was offering. All right, so they were more likely to pay me what they believe and what I believe that I'm worth for my time, so that I can dedicate an entire month to one project and one client, instead of entire month to 3 tier 2 clients. All right, so I'm transitioning to tier 3. I've got a lot of tier 3 prospects. I've started to do tier 3 work, even though it's just pretty much the same quality. I have more services under my umbrella, a lot more influence. I have a lot more projects in my portfolio, and a decade of experience. So my way of bringing value to my audience in tier 1 and tier 2 is to provide this to you for free. If you want to learn more, if you want to get more in depth with website design, social media marketing, advertising, SEO, and the other list of services that are under this umbrella, so that you can start not only building your network, but building your net worth and building your business as efficiently as possible, getting the right resources, click on the link in the description above to go to Memphis Entrepreneur Club and start learning how to do some website development. Join. It's $125 a month for a membership every month, but you get access to thousands of dollars worth of courses, a lot of videos that I've put together to help you efficiently build those businesses. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. If you have any questions for me, comment on the video below. If you found this helpful, or if you know someone that could find this helpful, tag them, send it to them, post it to their profile, share this out. You can just click that share button. Definitely give me a like, a heart, or something if you found this to be helpful for yourself. And, give me a shout out. I'd appreciate that a lot. So thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time, peace.
Let's review the top 20.